About the transfer process, what you need to know. In this short video, we will discuss the transfer process, the steps involved, timeframes, what you can expect from us, and what we'll need from you. First off, I'd like to thank you for entrusting Resort Transfers International with your timeshare transfer. To get started, we want to tell you what to expect during the process. We utilize a variety of resources to make certain that your timeshare is transferred legally into the hands of a new maintenance fee paying owner. That may be an individual, a rental company, a travel club, the original resort, or another entity with whom we are confident will abide by the terms and conditions set forth by the association and your resort. Depending on the resort, some transfers take weeks, while others can take months. For years, transfer companies have gotten a bad name, and many with good reason. Many relief companies charge excessive fees to help rid owners of their timeshare burden. And in many cases, these timeshare units were deeded to offshore corporations, illegitimate companies, and even dead people's names. Obviously, none of the above had intended to pay the next maintenance fee. Much of the time, the owner lost any fees they paid and still wound up owing the maintenance fees that were now well past due. This also puts a great deal of financial burden on the associations, as maintenance fees are what pay for the resort to keep running. On both sides, you have companies who are not looking out for the best interest of the owner, but there are also many wonderful resorts with great HOAs who sincerely have the best interest of their owners at heart. Over the past 7 years, we have worked hard to prove ourselves as a benefit to the industry. We are governed by a licensed real estate company. We work with the industry-leading title company, Sterling Title Partners, and the transfer process is facilitated in-house by our staff. Every transfer is different, and the hundreds of associations and resorts all have different rules and processes. And doing it the right way is not always the fastest way. That's why the biggest requirement of a successful transfer is owner cooperation. We absolutely need your cooperation in the transfer process. By working with Resort Transfers International hand in hand, we can work to provide you the best possible experience during the transfer process. Please be certain to read our terms and conditions. We have made them as clear as possible with absolutely no fine print to make sure we both know what is expected during the process. Now on to the basic steps of the transfer process. Step 1. Receiving. When you initially submit your resort transfer form, you are in the receiving department. Upon initial contact with this department, you will be assigned your username and login to our website. At that point, you will be given instructions on which documents to download from the site. After this initial contact, your account will be moved to processing. Step 2. Processing. When you reach processing, this simply means that we are awaiting the required documents to start the transfer. The 180 days does not begin until all the documents that were requested are returned. It is critical that you make every effort to get your documents in as soon as possible. Quick turnaround on your documents will eliminate any issues down the road. Please make this a priority. After we receive all requested documentation, you will be moved to the transfer department and the clock starts ticking. If you have challenges trying to obtain the requested documents, please contact us. We are here to help you any way we can. Step 3. The transfer department. The transfer department is where we begin utilizing our resources to provide the most effective exit strategy for your timeshare. As is stated in our agreement, we request that you keep your maintenance fees current for 180 days from the time that all of the documents are received. This gives us ample time to identify a new home for your vacation ownership property, prepare deeds, send to recording, notify your resort, and receive back a transfer complete letter from your resort. While we will do everything in our power to ask as little as possible from you, again, your cooperation is required at all stages, so please be prepared to assist us when necessary. We are able to afford you the lowest prices in the industry as this is a team effort. We will notify you when we have identified the final disposition of your property. Step 4. Pending sale. The moment we have a new home for your property, your account is moved into pending sale, which is actually a misnomer, as only a tiny fraction of the inventory we receive is ever sold per se. What it basically means is that we know where it's going. At that point, we gather the information necessary to facilitate the transfer from all parties. And when we have what we need, the property is moved to deeding. Step 5. Deeding. While in deeding, the actual process can go a couple different ways. In most cases, the deed prep work is done in-house and then sent to the title company for finalization and recording. In a few instances, the resort or HOA may prefer to do the title work and recording themselves. In any event, the docs are prepped and the deed is recorded with the appropriate county. In the case of points ownership or right-to-use properties, they sometimes simply require resort notification of the transfer, along with the applicable transfer fee. Step 6. Resort notification. This is not its own department, but really the last step in deeding. Once everything has been returned back from title, all information required by the resort, including any transfer fees they may require, are sent to the resort or HOA along with the resort notification letter. It tells them everything is done and they should transfer the property within their systems and recognize the new owner. At this point, the ball is in their court. In the state of Florida, the law requires that the resort or HOA recognize the new owner within 15 days of receipt of the aforementioned information. Recognition times vary from state to state, and very few actually follow the 15-day rule in Florida. It's usually not due to unwillingness, but in many cases, lack of manpower or an overwhelming number of files. But after submission, we will keep in contact with the resort and update you accordingly. Step 7. Dispersed. The final step in the process is dispersed. This means everything is done, the resort recognizes the new owner, and you no longer own your timeshare. But again, please remember, we need good communication and your cooperation throughout the process. We understand that life happens and making your transfer a priority doesn't always take precedence over what life has thrown at you, but please keep in contact and do your best to follow the guidelines. Understanding the process, following the guidelines, and knowing what to expect will make for a great experience and avoid headaches down the road. So let's wrap things up. Resort Transfers International prides itself on our relationships with leaders in the industry. All transfer transactions are overseen by Resort Holdings International, a licensed real estate company. All deeding, title, and recording is prepared and submitted by Sterling Title Partners, an A-rated title company who caters to the timeshare industry. If you have any further questions regarding how the process works, please refer to the terms and conditions that were included in your download package. Or you can send us an email to contact@resorttransfers.net. Talk to a representative on our live chat feature, or simply give us a call at 855-856-8577. A staff member will be glad to help you. That concludes this video. We have 3 other videos that cover terms and conditions, limited power of attorney, and the estoppel. Please take time right now to go watch those 3 videos. Thank you.